after thorough review and consultations, it was deemed appropriate to move the conference venue to a location better suited to the significance and objectives of this conference. Hence, Parliament House, a venue that has long stood as a symbol of Ghana's democratic resilience and Pan-African commitments, finally won the day. And I'm sure you are all happy to be here in this Emmanuel Quist's conference call, the first Right Honorable Speaker of the Ghanaian legislature, as Emmanuel Quist. I have no doubt this relocation reflects the importance of the conference and its direct relevance to legislative leadership. As a gathering of speakers, members of parliament, and policymakers from across Africa, Parliament House provides the most appropriate institutional setting for discussions aimed at shaping laws, policies, and actions that strengthen families, uphold sovereignty, and preserve Africa's shared values. I therefore apologize for any inconvenience this change may have caused, and I appreciate the understanding, cooperation, and continued support of all delegates, shareholders, stakeholders, and members of the Parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's conference is the fourth session and is being organized at a time when the African continent is confronted with evolving social, cultural, and ideological challenges which continue to impact on family systems, sovereignty, and treasured values. We are meeting at a moment when African values face a dual assault. One, the cultural erosion from globalization on one side, and two, the painful rise of xenophobia within our own continent on the other. When African brothers turn against African brothers, when our children no longer speak their mother tongue, when external ideologies are packaged as universal truths, then Africa must speak with one voice. This conference is therefore not merely a meeting, it is a declaration. A declaration that Africa will no longer sit and remain mute or stand in silence. A declaration that we shall reclaim, protect, and project our values, not in isolation, but in dignified unity. It is therefore both timely and necessary for African parliaments and institutions to engage in meaningful dialogue on how we preserve and promote the values that define us as people. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce that Ghana is fully prepared to host this prestigious conference. Significant progress has been made in all operational and technical areas, including accommodation arrangements, delegate registration, transportation, protocol coordination, security, media coverage, interpretation services, conference logistics, and exhibition activities. Various subcommittees have worked tirelessly over the past months to ensure a successful and memorable event. Parliament House and all designated venues are ready to receive delegates and guests from across Africa and other participating countries. As you may be aware, I announced the suspension of the House for the period of the conference to allow the Chamber to be prepared for the conference. This year's conference will focus on several important thematic areas, including 1. The protection and strengthening of the African family system. 2. Sovereignty and the preservation of African cultural identity. 3. The role of parliaments in safeguarding societal values. 4. Youth development and moral leadership. 5. Legislative responses to emerging social and ideological issues. And 6. Strengthening collaboration among African states on issues affecting family and society.